Hey guys, I'm back with the third video of the video series on Class 6 Maths Knowing Your Numbers, and in this video we are going to learn about estimation of numbers. Rohita says the population of Delhi is 10 million. Rohan interrupts and says that no, it's not 10 million, it's 9.871 million. Rohita says that's okay, so I just approximated and rounded it off to 10 million. So what happened here? So even though the exact number was 9.871, but what Rohita did was she rounded it to 10 so that it becomes easier for her to remember, and it also becomes easier for others to understand. We come across so many such articles in the newspaper where it says that 50,000 people gathered at this place. So even though the exact number might be, say, 49,902, but it has been rounded off to 50,000 so that it becomes easier for people to get that information and to retain that information. And that is why we basically round off numbers. So let us learn more about how do we estimate numbers.
Now, let's look at something very interesting. This little girl, she says that the population of Delhi is 10 million. So somebody asked him, her friend asked her, what's the population of Delhi? And she replied that the population of Delhi is 10 million. But her friend disagrees, saying that the statistics in the newspaper said that the population of Delhi is 9.871 million as on 2001. So now the girl thinks that, okay, I said 10 million, which is very close to 9.871 million. So what do you think? Do you think that the girl is right or the boy is right? Now the statistics which is given by this boy, which he had read in the newspaper, that gives a more accurate value. But the number which is given by this girl is also not incorrect, because she is just rounding off the number. She is talking about a number because it is more easy to remember 10 million than remembering 9.871 million. Agree? Yeah, so just to make sure that you remember this approximate figure, this approximation is done, and this is what we call as estimation of numbers. Because when we deal with very large numbers, so there a difference of a small doesn't really matter. Let's say that if you have invited 10 people to your house and 2 of them didn't arrive, so that makes a difference, because there were only 10 people invited and now only 8 of them have arrived. So 2 are not there, so you actually feel their absence. Now let's say that instead of 10 people, you have invited 1,000 people in your house and 2 people didn't come up. So there is a possibility that you might even realize that who were not present, because the total number of people, the strength is huge. So in a similar way, when we talk about large numbers, so small differences don't matter much. So here we are talking in millions. So whether the population is 9.871 million or the population is 10 million, that approximately doesn't make much difference. So just to make it easier to remember, just for our convenience to use those numbers, estimation of numbers or rounding off numbers are often done. So where exactly do we see this rounding of numbers? Where have we actually witnessed it? Now, in the newspaper, sometimes we have seen such news headlines which says that approximately 5,000 people went to witness the match. Now, when you have these numbers, now that really doesn't mean that exactly 5,000 people were there in the stadium. It could be 4,920 people, or it could be 5,090 people, or it could even be 5,200 people. So it has just been approximated to a number which can be easily remembered or easily interpreted by people. Now when you read that approximately 4,962 people went to witness the match, so it's quite difficult for you to remember the number. So how do you remember it? By rounding it off to the nearest easily rememberable number, like 5,000. Similarly, let's say you have lot of coins and you count them together to make rupees 60. Now you say that total amount that we get out of these coins, these many coins, maybe these are some 10 paise, 20 paise coins, and you make together rupees 60. Now when you say that rupees 60, that again doesn't mean that it is exactly 60. It could be 57, it could be 61, but then again it cannot be something like 500, because 60 and 500 are like far apart. But 57 can be assumed to be 60, 61 can be assumed to be 60, but 100 or 500 or 611 cannot be assumed to be rupees 60. So it has to be something which is, very near to that number, and then you can round off to that number. Let's think of another scenario. Let's say that you are organizing a party and you invited, say, approximately some 95 guests. Now, these are the number of people whom you have invited for the party, but you do not know if all of them are going to come, or if some of them are not going to come, or if some extra people are going to come. Maybe one or two extra people might come. So what do? You make arrangements for 100 guests, because you think that, okay, 95 is the number I have invited, so let me round it off to 100. So you are preparing for 100 guests, because you rounded off 95 to 100 just to keep that extra buffer. So in all of these scenarios, we see that we use rounding off in our day-to-day life. Often you would have seen that, let's say that you are going to the market. Your mother asked you to buy something from the nearby grocery store. Now, whatever she had asked you to buy, that might cost, say, rupees 47. Or let's say that might cost rupees 60. But generally she gives you a 100 rupee note in case you need a little more money. Right? So in normal cases, you see that you often come across these rounding off scenarios where the amounts are generally rounded, not the amounts exactly, the numbers. Whenever we are talking of huge numbers, we tend to round them off to a nearest number which is easy to remember. Now, generally numbers like 100, 500, 5,000, 50,000, the numbers with zeros, they are quite easy to remember, and also they help us to get an estimate, or they help us to make a fair guess about the number. So now let us see how exactly do we round off. Now there are certain rules, there is a procedure to round off any number. It is not that you can round off any, say you cannot round off 16 to 60. Similarly, you cannot round off 16 to 1. So there are certain rules that we need to follow. So let's see how do we round off to the nearest tens. So let us take the example of 67. So here we are learning how do we round off to the nearest tens. Now when we are talking about tens, so basically 7 is at the units place and 6 is at the tens place. So this is a number which falls between 60 and 70. So when you look at 67, it lies somewhere between 60 and 70. Now approximately, can you tell where would 67 lie? Would it be nearer to 70 or would it be nearer to 60? Now if this is 60 and this is 70, somewhere exactly in between them would be what? Would be 65? Because 65 is like midway between 60 and 70. So exactly in there at the midpoint would be 65. So we have 67. So 67 would lie this side or this side. Of course on this side, that means 67 might lie somewhere here. So if you look at it, 67 is far away from 60, but comparatively it is nearer to 70, right? So therefore 67 can be rounded off to 70 and not 60. Because sometimes people get confused that why is it that I can round off 67 to 70 and not to 60? That is because of this reason, because 67 is more close to 70 than 60. So therefore we round it off to 70. Now here we are talking about rounding off to nearest tens. Now it is also important whenever we are rounding off a number, especially the bigger numbers, it is also important that we are rounding it off to the nearest tens or the nearest hundreds or the nearest thousands, because that decides where does the number lie, because here we are talking about the tens. So we knew that 65 lies between 60 and 70. Let us look at another example. Let's talk about 93. So 93, again, this is the units place, this is the tens place. So this lies somewhere between 90 and 100. So somewhere between 90 and 100 would be 95. And where would be 93? 93 would be somewhere here. So here very clearly we see that 93 is more close to 90 as compared to 100. So therefore 93 can be rounded off to 90. So you see, in these cases, now it is not only that 90 can be more easily remembered, even for calculation purposes, if you take 93, your calculations become more complicated and tedious. But if you take 90, it becomes slightly easier. So that way is also rounding off helps in many scenarios. Now let us learn how do we round off to nearest hundreds. So let us take this example, 6789. So this is units, tens, hundreds and thousands. Now since we are saying that we are rounding off to nearest hundreds, so hundreds would be here, 7 is at the hundreds place. So in terms of the nearest hundreds, where does this number lie? So on the number line, if you plot something like 6700, that is 6700 and 6800, because you could have told that 6789 lies between 6000 and 7000, but you could have told that when we were rounding it off to nearest thousands. But right now we are rounding it off to nearest hundreds, so we will have to consider the hundreds place. So we will have to see, based on the hundreds place, what are those two numbers between which this number lies. So hundreds place, so it will be 6700 and 6800. Now we have to decide to which number it is more closer. Now exactly between 6700 and 6800 would be 6750. That lies exactly between those two numbers. Now you might ask that how do I find this midpoint? Now one option of finding the midpoint is you add these two numbers and divide by 2. So that's how you can find midpoint. The other option is you find out the difference between this number and this number to find out how far this number is. Similarly, you find out the difference of this number and this number to find out how far this number is. So basically, end of the day, you will have to find out where approximately where 6789 would lie. So now here you can see the 6789 would lie somewhere here. So basically this number is more close to 6800 than to 6700. Therefore we can round it off to 6. Therefore we can 6800. Now let us assume that if I ask you to round off the same number 6789 to the nearest thousands. Now in that case, you could have actually told that this number lies between 6000 and 7000, right? And in between, the midpoint of these two would be 6500 and 6789 would lie somewhere here. So this would be more closer to 7000. So in that case, we could have actually rounded this number off to 7000. So you see, when we round it off to the nearest hundreds, it is 6800. When we round it off to the nearest thousands, it is 7000. So basically, if we round it off to nearest hundreds, we get a more accurate value. I mean, 6800 is more close to 6789 than 7000 is close to, right? So basically that depends. that to which place are we rounding off a particular number. Now let us round off to nearest thousands. So let's consider this number, which is 30,089. So here you have this at the units place, tens, hundreds, thousands and 10,000s. Right? Now when you talk about the thousands place, so in terms of the thousands place, 30,089, where does it lie? It lies between 30,000 and 40,000. Right? Now in between these two would lie 35,000. So 35,000 is like midway. So where do you think 30,089 would lie? Maybe somewhere here, 30,089. So you see it is very close to 30,000 and it is quite far away from 40,000. So therefore this can be rounded off to 30,000. Let's take another example of a bigger number. So this is 12,99,083. So this also we want to round it off. So if we want to round it off to thousands, so in that case, what would you see? Units, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, lakhs, 10 lakhs. So when you are rounding it off to thousands, in that case, you would basically see that it lies somewhere between 12,99,000 to 13 lakhs. That is somewhere it would lie. So now when you look at this number would lie somewhere very close to 12,99,000. And therefore, what we can say? So we can round this number to 12,99,000 if we are rounding it off to the nearest thousands. Now, if we say that we want to round it off to the nearest lakhs, so in that case, how can we round it off? In that case, we would say that this number lies somewhere between 12 lakhs and 13 lakhs. So in this case, what would be the midpoint? The midpoint would be 12,50,000. So this number in that case would lie very close to 13 lakhs because it is 12,99,083. So in this case, it is very close to 13 lakhs. So we can round it off to 13 lakhs. So now when you compare these numbers, what do you see? These are nothing but rounding off. So it depends that how closely you want to round off a particular number. Whether you want to round it off to the nearest tens, or you want to round it off to the nearest hundreds, or you want to round it off to the nearest thousands. So depending on to what extent you want to round off, you would get a number that would be equally closer to that number. So let's say when you talk about this 12,99,083, rounding off to nearest thousands, you got 12,99,000. Rounding off to nearest lakhs, you got 13 lakhs. Now, if you want to round off this number to the nearest tens, it would be 12,99,080 because 80 it would be the nearest tens. So this is how you can round off the same number to various places. So now we will see that how do we round off the sum or difference of two numbers. So let us take this example. So let us suppose that we need to estimate the sum of these two numbers, 12,904 and 2,888, using general rules. So we have to estimate means whatever sum we find out, that sum needs to be a rounded off number. So it should be a number that is like easy for calculations and easy to remember. Now, let us first try to add these numbers traditionally without any estimate, without rounding off, so that we can find out the exact sum, so that when we make the estimate, we can analyze that how close that estimate is to the actual sum. So let us traditionally add these two numbers. So the sum comes out to be 15,792. So this is the accurate sum. Let us now estimate. So in order to estimate, what we will do, we will round off both the numbers. So we will round off this number, we will also round off this number. So let us round off both the numbers to the nearest thousands. Why to the nearest thousands? Because when you look at these two numbers, both of them are in the range of thousands. One is 2,888, the other one is 12,904. Now, what would be the estimate for 12,904? Now, when you are estimating it to the nearest thousands, you can say that 12,904 would lie between 12,000 and 13,000. Somewhere between these two would be 12,500, and you have 12,900, which is definitely going to be closer to 13,000. So we can round off 12,904 as 13,000. Now let us talk about the next number, that is 2,888. Now this number would lie between 2,000 and 3,000. Now here the midpoint would be 2,500 and your number is 2,888, which might lie somewhere here. So this is also more close to 3,000. So we can estimate or round it off as 3,000. So basically this is how we have rounded off both the numbers. And now let us try to find their sum. So now we will add 13,000 and 3,000. So what do we get? We get 16,000. Now, why did we initially add it traditionally? Just to see that are we getting a number that is close to the actual sum. So you see the actual sum was 15,792, which can be rounded off to 16,000, right? And that is what we have got here. So this is how we estimate the sum or difference of two numbers. Now, if you talk about the exact rules that need to be followed, so there are no rigid rules as such. So basically it depends on the degree of accuracy needed and how fast the estimate is needed. Now see, in this case we could have, there was no hard and fast rule that I need to estimate it to the nearest thousands, right? I could have estimated both the numbers to the nearest hundreds. I could have also estimated the two numbers to the nearest tens. So this was up to my wish, because nothing is mentioned that how do I need to estimate them. But if I round it off to the nearest tens, then the accuracy would be more, because when you are rounding it off to the nearest 10, so you are getting a more accurate number. So, but if I am rounding it off to the nearest 10, the disadvantage is that in that case, your process will become slower, because now you have estimated it to the nearest thousands. So obviously there is some difference between the actual sum and the estimated sum. There is some difference, but at the same time this process was fast because you have rounded it to simpler numbers. It was easy to add them. But when you round it off to tens, the result that you get might be more accurate. The result might be more close to 15,792, but in that case your sum will be more complicated because you do not have zeros at the ends and all. So depending on how fast you need the estimate, if you need the estimate very fast, then you will have to round it off to the higher places, like round it off to thousands or round it off to hundreds, depending on the numbers again. But if you need more accuracy, then you will have to round it off to the smaller places, like rounding it off to tens, right? So basically there are no rigid rules. It just depends on how much accuracy you need and how fast you need the estimate. So as I said, that if you round it off to tens, rounding off to tens might be slower because you would need more time to make the calculations, but this is going to be more accurate. And it is just the opposite for the higher places like thousands or lakhs. So let us look at another example where we have to find the difference. So we have to estimate using general rule 28,292 and 21,496. Now here what we will do is, we will take this example and we will try to solve this by rounding off to thousands, by rounding off to hundreds, and also by rounding off to 10 thousands. And then we will see that what are the results that we get in each of the cases. So here also, even before we make an estimate, first let us calculate the real sum. So by our traditional method, so 28,292 and 21,496. So when you subtract these two, what you get is 6,796. So this is our real difference. Now let us try to round off these numbers. So in the first case, let us try to round it off to 10,000s, because we have 28,292, 21,496, right? So if we round it off, so rounding off to 10,000s place. So what would be 28,292? So in that case, you can say that 28,292 lies somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000. Right? So this lies between 20,000 and 30,000. So to which one is it more closer? So it is closer to 30,000. So 28,292 can be approximated to 30,000. What about 21,000? So this also lies between 20,000 and 30,000, but this is more close to 20,000. So this can be approximated as 20,000. So when you find the difference is 10,000. So that is the difference that you get. Okay, now let us round it off. Now let us find the same difference by rounding off to hundreds. So when you round it off to hundreds, in that case 28,292, you would say that this 28,292 lies between 28,200 and 28,300. So this is the range, and 28,292 will be more closer to this. Therefore, you can approximate it as 28,292 would be more close to 28,300, because 292, because in between these two would be 28,250. So you have 292, so this will be more closer to 28,300. So you can write it as 28,300. What about 21,496? So when you again round it off to nearest hundreds, this would lie somewhere between 21,400 and 21,500. And 496 will again be very close to 21,500. So you can write it as 21,500. Now when you subtract this, you get 6,800. So in the first scenario, you found the difference as 10,000. In the second scenario, you found the difference as 6,800. Now in the third scenario, let us round it off to the nearest thousands. So rounding off to nearest thousands. Now in the first case, we rounded off to 10,000s. So now we will round it off to thousands. So in that case, we can say that 28,292. It lies between 28,000 to 29,000. So this is the range. It has to lie somewhere between 28,000 and 29,000, because now we are considering the nearest thousands place. Now looking at this number, you can say that it is more closer to 28,000. So you can approximate it as 28,000. Similarly, 21,496. This would lie between 21,000 and 22,000. And 21,000, and in between would be 21,500. So if you look at it, this lies before 21,500. So it is more close to 21,000. So this would be 21,000. Now when you subtract this, you get 7,000. So now you see that we have estimated the same two numbers and found their difference, but the differences are different. So in first case it is 10,000, second case 6,800, and third case is 7,000. And what should have been the actual difference? The actual difference is 6,796. Now let us talk about the accuracy, and let us also talk about how fast each of these scenarios were. So first let's talk about accuracy. Now in terms of accuracy, out of these three values, which is nearest to the accurate value, because this is the accurate value. So nearest to this is this. So this is the most accurate. And which is the least accurate? So the least accurate is this. And which is like medium. So this is the most accurate, this is the least accurate, and this is like okay. This is also accurate but not very accurate. At the same time, it is not very far away from the accurate value. So it is like okay. Again, now when we talk about the time taken, I mean which process was more quick. So in that case, the most quick was this one, because you had all zeros. So it was very easy to, find out the difference of the two. So this was the quickest. Which was the slowest? This would have been the slowest, because you have the least number of zeros, so the subtraction actually took its own time. So this was the slowest, and this was again like quick enough, not the quickest, but it was quick enough because you had enough zeros. Now considering the three scenarios, which one? So there is nothing right or wrong. Each of these is a guess, because none of these is the accurate difference between the two. So the accurate difference is actually this. But out of these three guesses, which one do you think is a more sensible guess where the accuracy is also okay and the speed is also okay? So yes, this would be the most sensible guess. So that is why I told you that when we talk about rounding of numbers, there are no rigid rules. You can round them off to thousands, you can round them off to hundreds, you can even round them off to tens. It depends on how much accuracy do you need and how fast you need to give that estimate. So if you have very less time, then maybe you cannot give an accurate value, but you can quickly do and give an approximate guess. So here the most sensible guess would be the third scenario, where we rounded it off to the nearest thousands. So this is an example which illustrates that how rounding off to different places can give you different results and how the accuracy varies in each of the cases. Now let us try to estimate the product, because till now we estimated the sum and the difference. So here also let us take an example. So estimate the following product using general rule: 1291 multiplied by 592. So here also let us first actually see what is the product that we get. 1291 multiplied by 592. So what we actually get is 2582 11619 6455. So this is the accurate product that you get. So which is 7,64,272. So now when we estimate these two numbers and find the product, so let's see what do we get. So let us first try to round off the numbers to thousands. So rounding off to thousands. So when we round it off to thousands for 1291, so this lies somewhere between 1000 and 2000. Now 1291 is more close to 1000, so this can be approximated to 1000. Similarly 592, so this lies somewhere between 0 and 1000, because when you are approximating it to thousands, so it's basically 0, 1000, 2000, 3000 and so on. So in that case it lies closer to 1000, so this would also be approximated to 1000. So therefore The result that you would get is this. That is basically 10 lakhs. And what is the accurate output? It was 7,64,000, but you are getting it as 10 lakhs, which is like too high. So it is very less accurate. It is not accurate at all. Now let us try to round it off to hundreds. So rounding off to nearest hundreds. So in that case, 1291. This would lie between 1200 and 1300. So 1291 would be more closer to 1300. So this can be approximated to 1300. And 592, this would lie between 500 and 600. 592 would be closer to 600. So this can be approximated as 600. So 1300 into 600 will be 7,80,000. Now this number is a closer estimate. So this is more accurate. So this is a closer estimate and this is more accurate. However, when compared to the first scenario, it consumed more time because multiplying 1300 with 600 will take comparatively more time than multiplying 1000 into 1000. So now let us look at the rule, if we have any, for estimating products, because here we see that to estimate products you might have two numbers where one number is in the range of thousands, the other number is in the range of hundreds. So what do? So let's see if we can make some rule. So let's say that how the scenario would be, which is a third scenario. Let us round off 1291 to thousands. And let us round off 592 to the nearest hundreds, because this number is in its hundreds place, this number is in the thousands range. So when you round off 1291 to thousands place, so this would be 1000. When you round off 592 to hundreds, this would be 600. So that is what we had estimated before also. So what would be the product in this case? It would be 1000 into 600, which would be 6 lakhs. So when you look at this value, this again gives you a rough estimate. So this is also a rough estimate, but here the value might not be as accurate as it was in the second case, but at the same time this process was quick enough because this multiplication did not take a lot of time because you have so many zeros. So considering this, the rule that was made for estimating product was this. We round off each factor to its greatest place and then multiply the rounded off factors. So basically, what are factors? Factors are nothing but each of these numbers, like 1291 is a factor, 592 is a factor. So we round off each of these factor to its greatest place. For example, for 1291, the possible places are tens place, hundreds place, thousands place. So the greatest place is thousands place. So we rounded it off to thousands place. Similarly, for 592, it could have been rounded off to tens place or hundreds place. So the greatest is hundreds place. So we rounded off each factor to its greatest place and then we multiply the rounded off factors. So in this way, we can get a rough estimate which would be fast, through which you can give a fast estimate. At the same time, this would be kind of accurate. Now here, when you compare the three scenarios, this scenario is more accurate, but it is more time consuming. The first scenario is very fast, but it is not at all accurate. It is far from accurate. In the third scenario, it is like medium accurate and medium quick. So this is like a more sensible guess. So therefore, whenever we have to estimate product, we round off each factor to its greatest place and then we multiply the rounded off factors. Now following this rule, let us try to estimate the following products, that is 9250 multiplied by 29. So in this case, how will we round off each of them? So we round off 9250, that is 9250 to its thousands place, so to the nearest thousands. So that would make it 9000. right? Similarly, we will round off 29 to the nearest tens, and that would make it 30. So now when you multiply 9000 into 30, so what you get is 9 threes are 27, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So you get 2,70,000, which is a quick calculation and which is kind of accurate, because if you want to see the exact value, then just multiply this. So this is the accurate value, this is the exact value. So this value is quite close to it. So this is accurate and this is also fast. So we could have a sensible estimate of the product. So let us try this question. Give a rough estimate by rounding off to nearest hundreds and also a closure estimate by rounding off to nearest tens. Now you remember, as I told you, that when you round off to the smallest places like the tens, you get a more accurate value, and that is why we call it a closer estimate, because the value is that you obtain is more accurate. Whereas when you round it off to the higher places like the hundreds or thousands, you get a rough estimate because the value is not that accurate. So let us try this. Let us first try to find out the rough estimate. So for the rough estimate, we have to round it off to the nearest hundreds. So this is the hundreds place. So 1,08,734 would lie between 1,08,700 and 1,08,800, right? So it is more close to 1,08,700. Now that this closeness, it is not always necessary that you need to draw the number line, but the closeness can be easily felt, like it lies between 700 and 800. Midpoint is 750. So it is less than 750, that means it is more close to 700. So that's why it is 1,08,700. The other one is 47,599. That means this would lie between 47,500 and 47,600. So midpoint of 500 and 600 would be 550. So it is more than 550. So it is closer to 600. So this would be 47,600. So when you find the difference, it is 61,100. So this would be the rough estimate. Now let us find out the closer estimate. So for the closer estimate, we will round it off to the nearest tens. Now when you round it off to the nearest tens, so this 1,08,734 would lie between 1,08,730 and 740. Now there the midpoint would be 35. So 34 is less than 35. So this is more close to 1,08,730. Similarly here, this would lie between 47,590 and 47,600. Right? So there we would see that it is more close to 47,600. So when you find the difference, you get it 61,130. So this would be a closer estimate. Now let's prove that this is a closer estimate than this. So for that, let us find out the actual difference between the two. Now this is the actual difference. So obviously 61,130 is more closer to this as compared to 61,000, right? But this is more quick. This helps you to give a quicker estimate. So let us try to simplify this using brackets. So here also we will make use of these estimation that we have learned so far. So all we need to check here is how can we make this process of multiplying easier and less time consuming. Now let us say by the traditional process, how would you do it? In the traditional way, you would do it something like this. 102 multiplied by 103. So you would get 306, then you would get 000, and then you would get 102. And finally you would get 10,506. So this is the product that you would get. So this is our traditional process. Now let's see how differently can we do it. So in this case we can say 102 multiplied by 100 plus 3. So 103 can be written as 100 plus 3. Now by the distributive property, we know that distributive property of multiplication over addition. So as per that we can write this as 102 into 100 plus 102 into 3. Right? So now this can be written as, this 102 can now be written as 100 plus 2 into 100 plus 100 plus 2 into 3. So now this can be written. Why are we doing this? So that we have more hundreds everywhere. So when you have zeros, it becomes easy to multiply them. So this becomes 100 into 100 plus 2 into 100 plus 3 into 100 plus 2 into 3. So now you see your multiplication became very easier. So 100 into 100 would be 10,000. 2 into 100 would be 200. 3 into 100 would be 300. 3 into 2 would be 6. Now adding these is very simple and you get 10,506. So you see, by making use of brackets and by breaking the numbers into simpler forms, you can actually simplify these multiplications to get the products. So this helps you to simplify quicker, and it also helps you to reduce the complexity, because when you multiply it in this fashion, sometimes you make mistakes in addition, sometimes you make mistakes in multiplication. So there are more chances of error.
I hope this video was useful. In the next video, we are going to learn about Roman numerals. Till then, take care but stay tuned.